Hello, my name is Jalene Sepulveda, but you can call me Jay. I'm a second-year student at the University of Arizona working on my business management degree with a focus on marketing. I'm part Navajo and part Hopi. I was born on the reservation in Chinle, Arizona. I moved to Chandler when I was about 7. Growing up in the city, I felt disconnected from my native heritage. I was often the first native person many of my peers met. There were times when I struggled to show the true me. It was hard to feel comfortable in my own skin, and there were even moments when I felt almost embarrassed about being Native American. I didn't want to be the person who had to explain my culture or deal with the stereotypes that came with it. But now I see things differently. I realized how important it is to embrace who I am and where I come from. My mom worked hard to keep us connected to our culture, bringing us home multiple times a year to see family, attend ceremonies, and participate in our traditions. I owe so much to my grandparents. They taught me to be proud of who I am and to honor the wisdom and resilience of our people. Native SOAR gave me the opportunity to reflect on all of this, to reconnect with my roots and see how my culture shapes the way I mentor, lead, and learn. One reading that truly struck a chord with me was Beyond the Ashford by Shot Lowe and Waterman. It describes the barriers Native American students face in higher education, how we're often overlooked or misunderstood in spaces that weren't designed for us. It made me think about my own experience as one of the few Native students in my high school and now in college. I often felt like I had to work harder to prove that I belonged, not just academically but socially too. Reading this helped me approach my mentees with more empathy. I realized that for many of them, simply getting to college is a victory in itself. I wanted to be the mentor I wish I had, someone who sees and supports them without judgment. This reading reminded me that mentorship is just one way we can break down these systemic barriers. Another reading that resonated deeply with me was Home Away from Home by Ticini, Cabrera, and Yellowbird. It focused on the importance of creating a sense of belonging for Native students. This hit close for home because growing up in Chandler, I often felt out of place. There were so many times when I had to explain myself to others or when I felt like no one understood what it meant to be Native American. When I read this, I thought about my mentees and how I could help them feel like they belong, not just at school, but in their own skin. During one of my mentoring sessions, one of my mentees shared how they struggled with fitting in while staying connected to their culture identity. I told them about my own struggles and how reconnecting with my culture through visits home, ceremonies, and family gatherings always gave me strength. It was in that moment that I realized how much power there is in simply sharing your story. The reading that impacted me the most was Putting Forth Effort by Tosi Paddock. It reminded me so much of the lessons my grandparents taught me. My grandma used to say that nothing worth having comes without effort, and that as Navajo and Hopi people, we carry the strength of those who came before us. There were moments during the semester I doubted myself. Balancing school, mentoring, and my own personal life felt overwhelming. But this reading reminded me of my roots and the resilience I inherited from my ancestors. It gave me the courage to keep showing up for my mentees even when it wasn't easy. I think about the strength it takes for Native students to persist in higher education, and it motivates me to keep putting in the effort, not just for myself, but those who come after me. My greatest takeaway from mentoring was realizing how much we can learn from one another. Through these sessions, I discovered the power of being present and offering guidance with empathy. I realized that mentorship isn't just about giving advice, it's about creating space for someone to feel valued and understood. Looking ahead, I want to carry these lessons into my future. Native SOAR has shown me that leadership isn't just about authority, it's about empathy, collaboration, and uplifting others. It helped me rediscover the strength in my identity. I learned to embrace my story and the wisdom passed down to me. It's about guiding someone else, and it's a journey of self-discovery. This is just the beginning, and I'm grateful for the lessons and relationships that will guide me on my path. Thank you, Native SOAR.